Hello and welcome to Be Powerful with Liz and Lee. It's a new day and we're so glad you're here.
So you can expect to hear candid conversations on what it means to be powerful. Live authentically, live in the midst of ups and downs, productively, and above all else, joyfully.
We are so thankful for you, our community of listeners, and we hope you enjoy today's show. Hi.
Hi, Lee.
How you doing, Liz?
Well, I'm doing well. How about you on this beautiful
Good.
day?
I think I have mascara in my eye, but whatever.
But you look good.
Well, thank you. So do you. You know what the best and the worst thing about being a lesbian is?
What?
The clothing.
Yeah, I agree. Except we don't wear traditional lesbian wear.
Oh, God, what does that mean?
I don't know. I always thought women that were, I dress.
You're going to get
like
yourself in a hole.
I always get myself in trouble. But I mean, I wouldn't think
Are you being stereotypical?
Yes. And I don't think I would be picked out of a crowd.
As a lesbian?
Well, maybe by now. I don't know.
Maybe we should do a lineup and see.
Do you like my black t-shirt? Is that the point? Yeah. I mean, do you think this is like proper lesbian attire?
No, there's not proper attire for being a lesbian. You took this down a route that I'm not going to go down with you.
You started it.
It wasn't about that.
Okay. You lead us, Almighty One, into the light.
Well, you have the clothes in the closet.
Yeah, I do.
So that's nice for me to go into.
Yeah, you're wearing
But you always get to win.
Yeah, because it's mine.
Well, I know, but also you're just the boss and the fashion girl.
I'm not. I'm only the boss in one arena. That would be in the studio.
If we showed up not knowing and we're twins, who would be the one that would have to go change?
You.
There. You just proved my point.
I pull seniority there.
Because you're senior.
and I have I think I have a much better fashion sense than you.
Well, how is that if we show up and look like twins?
Well, I think that you would be copying me like the single white female that you are. Sometimes.
I am not.
You
Don't
are.
Make it sound like, what does that mean?
You're not. It means you're just like
wanting to be you.
You said today. Okay, I kid you not. She said a while ago. She goes in my closet, puts on like a wife beater black shirt.
It wasn't a wife.
It was almost a
just
wife.
Like that.
No, this is a t-shirt with a T.
It was more of a muscle tee.
Muscle wife beater, whatever. It was black. It looked like very single white female. And I'm like, no, we can just take this so far. And then we have boundaries. That's the boundary.
That's the boundary.
Yeah, no twinsing.
But it is kind of nice.
It is. It truly is. Another plus.
See? I'm always looking on the bright side.
I am too. I think it's fun. It's fun. I've been using your eyeliner for a week
and
or
now
two.
my blush.
And now you're blush, but I thought the eyeliner actually came in the mail for me, that I had a mistake and went, wow, I've got this really cool brown eyeliner. I've never worn brown on my eyes. This looks really good on me.
Where'd you think you bought it then?
I thought I got it at the Blue Mercury.
Blue Mercury, anything but Blue Mercury.
Yeah, but you made a point. Yeah.
You call it tuna because tunas are high in mercury.
Right,
so it's this weird association.
It is. So I got it there.
The anti-dyslexia. It's like smart wrong.
Yeah, exactly. But it's right. And you always know what I'm talking about. No, I was like, I meant to get my Trish McElroy, but they sent me this other one. McAvoy. They sent me this other one.
I'll just wear that. And I'm like, not mention it to the other female in the home who has brown eyes and usually wears brown eyeliner. I wonder whose this could be.
Never, ever
Never did it cross your mind.
Not once.
That was my order. We were at Blue Mercury together.
Yes, we were. But you didn't tell me what you ordered. So anyway, another plus. Another plus.
Makeup,
to be in
clothes sharing.
Woman on woman. All right.
Wow.
All right.
But if we were woman on man, we played this game. And we wanted to talk about it.
We did. We played it last night at dinner.
Okay.
And
on a really old Armchair Expert podcast, I heard a discussion about hall pass where the expert on had never heard the term hall pass.
How old was this person?
I don't know his exact age. He was a professor, older.
Well, I've heard hall passes. Yeah, I know what that is.
He just didn't know. It's not his realm.
Well, tell them what someone might not know what a hall pass is.
So your hall pass is if you're happily committed to someone, the person that your partner would allow you to go sleep with.
I love that part. Okay. So hall pass. Who would you, and so we're going to play that game.
We were kind of playing it last night or that whenever we were. And I said, you know what's super interesting?
All of our hall passes were male.
Right.
Not one female.
Right.
Not one, which proves my point that we're not actually gay. We're not. We're not.
It's not like we're trying to prove that point like we're cooler or better than.
Let's be
not.
Very, I want to be gay. I want to be like straight up hardcore lesbian. But my hall pass is all men.
I don't that was interesting.
I don't pass this test.
And I'm the more lesbian than you if we're putting, if
that's
we're
true.
Being judgmental and stereotypical, then I am, and I didn't have any women.
That's really interesting, isn't it?
I know.
Yeah. Wow. Well, this is a lot.
And there were different versions of it. So we played hall pass, and then you started naming people that I thought you would have sex with.
No, I didn't want to have sex with these people.
Attracted to, you wanted to like snuggle with them.
I don't want to snuggle with anybody except for you. You kept saying, what do you mean? Do you want to snuggle with them? I don't want to snuggle with anyone. I do like it with you, however. Okay. But I'm not going to snuggle with like Henry Louis Gates,
but
right?
What do you want to do with him?
I want to hang out and have dinner and talk about things.
Oh, okay. Dinner party.
Dinner.
So there's the hall pass
dinner party. Just sort of like, let's just sit down together.
Have coffee.
Or a beer. Remember, he was the beer gate. He was the guy when Obama, they got in a big fight and somebody followed him into his house in Boston and beat the crap out of him.
Oh, yeah.
And then they all came together and had a beer together. Mm-hmm. I feel like he would have a beer with me. I don't need to beat the shit out of him first. I feel comfortable not.
Please don't. He's so nice. Henry Louis Gates. Yes. Does everyone know who that is?
Oh, I'm so sorry for you if you've missed this.
Go ahead.
He is the man on Finding Your Roots. Okay, I know most people don't take time to listen to watch PBS, but now and then you need to turn it on. By the way, that's where what was that great thing that came out of that? The English people in the house and the manor anyway, PBS has some great series.
Oh, Downton Abbey?
Downton Abbey came out of PBS, right? I couldn't think of the name of it. It's been a while. And, but yeah, the Henry Louis Gates Finding Your Roots is so good. It comes on Tuesday night at 9:00. You don't want to miss it.
But he interviews celebrities. Not interviews. Right. He does a school project and goes through their entire lineage. And they usually start crying.
Yeah.
I asked him to.
I know.
He responded.
Do you know what?
He's a Harvard professor, and I found his email and I wrote to him and he wrote back that he couldn't do it.
And what did he say he couldn't do? Because you specifically said in your email, which was really not a smart idea, something about Vikings.
Or just
you insinuated that we were going to go back on a post-life thing.
Yeah.
Like you insinuated that I thought I was reincarnated from the Vikings. Mm-hmm. He went ding, 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 ding.
Crazy people.
These people are nuts. I'm going to write a nice, calm email back and tell them that no, I don't do past life regression.
But he wrote back. If he thought we were crazy, he wouldn't write back.
And he was terrified of us. He was like, I'm writing these people back, calming them down. Anyway, so yes.
But we have an N.
And so what do we call him? He's not my hall pass. He's
your beer buddy.
Okay, my beer buddy. My beer buddy. Got it.
Who else would be a beer buddy? A non-hall pass person that you really want to hang out with.
Oh,
something in your hair.
And we're talking about in any lifetime. I mean, they can be alive or dead. Because last night we were alive or dead. Well, of course, we all know the answer to that. David Bowie, of course.
Why don't we break that down a minute? I want to know your obsession with David Bowie.
Oh, well, it's so easy. And the people that were, God, I guess you do have to be sort of my age. Like I was around when Ziggy Stardust was born. Ziggy Stardust was his alter ego.
I was like, born.
He was his, you talk about trends. Oh, David Bowie owns trends. He totally owns it. And he was also like, bisexual. He and all those guys. I mean, Mick Jagger, the whole crowd, they just rolled, they did what they did. But he came out with Ziggy Stardust and Spiders from Mars, the album. Uh-huh. And I mean, yes, I was in that moment of college, and yes, might or might not have been smoking some pot. And yes, I lost my mind over it.
Uh-huh.
And then I realized how great David Bowie was, just plain old David Bowie. Then he evolved into this incredible, he always was a rocker. But I mean, he would just go through phases and embrace them. Mm-hmm. So he never went, oh, that's weird. I'm not going to do that. on stage or off stage. He just embraced life and lived it. And that's the kind of people I want in my life. And that's the kind of person I want to have a beer with.
But he's not a hall pass for you?
No, I'm not interested in having sex with him. I do have hall passes for sure. But I would. Don't get me wrong, David, if you're listening and you come back in spirit, I would be open to that, right? But that's not the
Interesting.
one. Mm-hmm,
okay.
That's not the one.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we've got 2 beer buddies.
Do you want to name a beer buddy of yours, or are we going to go here first? Okay.
No. I don't know that I have mine. I got to think about this.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So do you have another beer buddy? Make it 3, or do you want to go to a hall pass?
Oh, I have a lot of people I'd like to hang out with, but let's go to hall pass and maybe go back and forth.
Oh my God.
Because as I go through hall passes, and you do too,
right?
Because since you're the single white female, you're going to start taking someone. So I need to give you some ideas.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll tell you one of mine.
Okay.
Somebody who I think is super attractive.
Are we talking hall pass?
Super. Yeah, but I got to really, I don't know, separate myself from you, single white female, because I would never do it.
Well, I'm not saying we're going to do it.
I know that's exactly what a hall pass is.
Thing.
Like, cheating on somebody is actually doing it.
We're not going to do it.
It's not possible.
No, it's what you would do if everybody in the room came to an agreement that, yes, we're in this relationship, but you have a hall pass today with this person.
Okay, Patrick Dempsey.
Oh, yeah. The Grey's Anatomy guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was in that movie Can't Buy Me Love, I think. When he was younger and not super hot, but I was in love with him then.
Oh, really?
Loved that movie. And then Grey's Anatomy, of course. I only watched the beginnings of it, not the 7,000 episodes that came past.
You just watched the Patrick Dempsey. Did you Google the parts he was in?
No. I watched it as it was coming and then quit watching and haven't come back.
Okay, so he's your number one?
But he is super attractive, debonair, good hair, good looking.
He is good looking.
He's real good looking.
I agree.
Yeah.
I have a Patrick.
Swayze?
Yes. Dirty Dancing. Come on. Who would not want a hall pass there?
I wouldn't.
I would crawl across the room on my hands and knees.
I know you would.
I would do it. I just like they did in Dirty Dancing. Yeah, I would. I wear the same outfit too, the bras and the panties and the whole thing.
The panties.
Right.
Yeah. So, I'm really, not single white female. I don't want Swayze. Have him.
No, that's because, again, we're a generation apart, aren't we? Sort of, kind of. And that was when you were a child. It came out.
Did
you see it?
He's in my generation. Yeah. 100 times.
Yeah. Anyway, he's hot. He's not my number one.
Hold on. I got one before I forget. Dermot Mulroney.
Okay. Who is Dermot Mulroney?
I went a little, into Netflix and watched 2 of his movies.
Who is that?
He is in My Best Friend's Wedding. Cameron Diaz, Julia Roberts, the main guy.
That guy. I agree.
He's in The Wedding Date with Deborah Messing.
Yes.
Good one. He plays an escort in that, and she hires him
to go
to her family wedding.
Good. Yeah.
Because her ex-fiance will be there, and they end up falling in love, of course.
Of course. Nothing like falling in love with a hired escort.
See, that's the other one.
Hi.
Patrick Dempsey was in the other chick flick rom-commy about a wedding. My Best Friend's Wedding?
Okay, enough of him. He's not that hot. Do you want to go to some Sizzlers?
What?
I'm talking Sizzlers.
Yeah, go ahead. Take me to the
Okay. Now you know that I'm bad with names, but there are 2, like I said last night, that if there were shelves of people, they would be sitting on the shelf side by side. And they're almost
sexy.
equally
Would they be naked?
Yes, in my house they would be. And they would be
both on a shelf.
And they are in order of hall pass. Who was Thor?
Chris Hemsworth.
Number one.
I'm
sorry.
Okay.
Have we seen Thor? Have we just seen a picture of Thor? Have we seen him in anything? Have you seen him? I don't know. Anywhere. On his worst day? On his worst day, I would take that hall pass. Okay. Number 2.
Okay.
And I don't know his name either. The other one, Chris Pines.
I
got it.
Singular.
Yeah, Chris Pine. Pine.
There you go.
And again, to me, they're like the same person, but on one day, one's hotter. On the other day, the other's hotter. You know what I'm saying?
I do know. I get it completely.
Yeah. So I think they're just amazing. human.
This is
human forms.
I'm making so many parallels because you have two Chris's who are like Marvel superhero,
Yes,
beefy guys. Chris Pine less beefy than Hemsworth,
Yes.
but has that twinkle in his eye
Oh
thing.
yeah, just beautiful man. Beautiful everywhere. Yes.
And my two,
yes.
Patrick and Dermot, are like the thick black
They
hair.
look like.
Maybe both Irish. I mean, Patrick Dempsey
wow.
is Dermot Mulroney. Right.
Right.
Wow.
So you like the Irish and I like sort of the Viking guys.
It
Yeah, the
makes
guys.
look at us.
Yeah, I know.
Look at us.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
That does make sense.
Wow.
And what's shocking is on none of our hall passes is a woman. Now, because while I was saying that, I was thinking about Wonder Woman, which I've watched Wonder Woman like 1,000 times because I love
hot.
it. She is hot. But that's when Chris Pine is in that. Uh-huh. And she's madly in love with him. And it's so good.
It is so really good. What is her name?
Oh, I don't know, but I love her too. But again, I'm not attracted to women. So she's beautiful. I get it. But she's not my hall pass. He is.
Yeah. Would you have to talk to them after?
Yes, I'd be happy to. I would say
I think mine would be smarter and more charismatic.
I'm not interested in their brain at this point, you know?
No, I'm saying
mine is a straight up hookup session. You know, if they want to talk, fine, I'll talk. Or you can talk and I'll listen, okay? You do whatever you need to do. We just do our thing.
There you go. We really should round it out with a third one. I'm trying to think of mine.
Okay, but it can be in any life, right? I mean, it can be live or dead.
Go with Napoleon, whatever.
No, it's not. It's not going to be Napoleon. But you know, you don't know what all those historical people look like. You know, you don't really know.
No.
Do you have one?
No, I'm thinking it would be in the comedic route. Like
you want
my
somebody
list boys,
you want
like
your
Jason
hall pass
Bateman.
to be funny.
Yeah,
Or
I think that's so attractive.
Or do you want to have a beer with this guy?
I'm in between. Like Bateman, a beer could lead to sex.
Jason Bateman.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think humor is so attractive.
This is why you like me.
It is. It is. So, I mean, for me, it's less about like the sex act and more of like, right. It's about the attraction leading up to it. All those things that would make me feel hot for him.
Right.
So I feel like my next one would be comedy-esque. And so I'm just trying to think of everybody.
I think yours is a good one. That guy you just said. I think he's a good
Jason
one.
Bateman.
Yes.
Were you like, what? Let's keep it easy. Brad Pitt. Duh.
Oh my God, that's my guy.
That's the one.
No,
You're
but
so easy to pick.
I'm so easy to pick. My guy is Brad Pitt. Well, now too, I think Brad is aging well.
Yeah, he looks good.
And, you know, I'm sure he's in some real trouble with his ex-husband all the time. Ex-wife, sorry. He was married to a woman.
News to me.
Jolie. And I think she's sexy and hot too.
Is that a hall pass? You wouldn't?
Nope. I'm going with him.
Okay.
And I still think he's just ripping, roaring hot from Thelma and Louise. Because remember, I was like in my 30s or whatever, 40s. I can't remember when it came out, but I remember going, who is this guy? Because we need to see more of him. And what do you know? All of a sudden, he became a big star.
What do you know?
Legends of the Fall. I mean, smoking.
Yeah.
Smoking hot. Smoking. Yeah, he's my third one.
Okay.
Brad Pitt.
Okay. You're easy.
So easy. I'm so
Hot
typical in so
muscly.
many ways.
I know.
He's not really muscly as much as the other two.
No, he's not. He's rugged.
He's more just hot.
Rugged, handsome.
He's kind of a wild card a little bit too.
Oh, that's why you like him.
Yeah, I
too.
like that. You don't quite like, he's got some issues possibly.
And it's interesting too, because the way I think of myself, like yours are too hot for me. Like they wouldn't.
They're too hot for you?
Yeah.
How can you be too hot?
Because it's different. Like they wouldn't like me back.
Oh, that's some bullshit. It's your hall pass.
I know, but I'm curious if that's why they're not in me. Like that's a tier above. Like a hall pass has to be
okay, so on
a
the
little
shelf,
bit manageable.
You have not even put them on the shelf, right?
No, they're on a shelf of like not attainable and kind of basic.
Whatever. Okay. We have different tastes in men. Fine.
Great.
We have the same taste in women.
Each other.
Yeah. But anyway, I think the whole point is we were getting hall passes and trying to think of women and we just couldn't go
do
there. And that proves so many points that we just don't feel anything but our, attraction to each other. And it's just like, I'm so gender not excited. I don't care what gender you are. If you like hit my energy and resonate with me and do the things that you do with me or make me feel about myself and us, then, I mean, that's enough for me, and I mean,
well, I'm done here.
I think you're also hot.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. But it's just a totally different thing.
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
interesting.
Yeah. I'm writing a little bit of an article right now. And so
a little bit of
not
an
a whole
one.
Yeah.
Just
I'm sort of like working at it. And I was just talking about gender and how once you just kind of, aren't we all just a little bit gay? And we've talked about this before. And aren't we all just on the spectrum? And if we can let go and really just kind of recognize the structures that we're working inside of and go, oh, I can choose not to work out of this structure. I can choose to just see everyone as beautiful, and I can be attracted to a man, a woman, whatever gender they are deciding to be. Gender is just an expression of who we are in body. It's not a full expression of our soul self,
right?
Or maybe it is.
So interesting.
But to me, it's just not important. And boy, did it take us a minute to get here. I mean, I wouldn't have said that a few years ago. Shockingly, now you and I are a representation of LGBTQ plus. And we would never have thought we would.
No.
Be. And so I'm very pleased about that. Aren't you?
I really am. No, I'm really glad you said that because I feel the same way.
Yeah. And so, but at the same time, I feel like I want it to be like all the letters of the alphabet and all the ways that we show ourselves in the world. And, not only these bands don't work, they're just lethal and they're embarrassing. The bands are embarrassing to us and to everyone. I'm just like, oh, that's embarrassing. You're trying to put a ban against people loving another person, no matter,
right?
Because they're same sex or they're for God's sakes, trans. Okay. Hello, David Bowie. Hello, Ziggy Stardust.
Right. And that's the thing, creativity, expression.
Right.
It's just should be free.
It should be free.
Should be free.
And it will be. And that's the other thing about it, because I feel bad for the people that are trying to do the bands because it's a losing game in the end. Now, they might win the short battles along the way, but the war will lose. They'll lose that war because there's always been trans. There's always been gay. There's always, and they didn't have, and maybe in some eons, they didn't even have to call it all that. They just called it humaning. You're humaning. I'm expressing myself this way.
Right.
And so I just think it's...
Well, humaning is hard enough. And so when we have people who love each other in a healthy way, then that should be even more than enough, because there's enough unlove, fear, hate going on in the world that seems to be the wrong thing to be worried about.
Until somebody shows me different, the thing I know I know that love trumps hate every single time. Every single time. Love is the only thing that can dispel fear. It's the only thing. When we finally decide, oh, it's not working on this fear-based life we're all trying to make everybody lead, and I'm talking every institution we're talking about is like, you can do this, but you can't do that. Why? Why? If love is involved, why? Oh, but you're going to influence the children. Okay.
Good.
Great idea, by the way. Let them know that if they're feeling feelings that maybe their parents don't have, that's okay. To not have them able to talk about it, to ban speaking about how they're feeling, is to ban their souls, to ban who they are inside. And it's criminal, it's lethal, and it's embarrassing, and it will not win in the end. It always loses. That's going to lose.
More love.
More love, baby.
More hall passes.
Hall passes. I think hall passes
Beer
are
buddies.
A good way. I think we should all have that discussion with our people tonight. I'm not sure you want to do it in front of your kids, but it's a fun game we played last night, and it was just blowing our minds. We're like, come on, come up with a woman.
Right.
We just couldn't do it.
No.
And you're just not a hall pass. You're just my person.
I'm not a hall pass girl.
You're my person.
I know.
But I mean, you're the person I want to be with all the time.
Thank you.
But, just in case.
They roll down the street. And we don't, you got Bowie and the creative thing. I want to be cool enough to have some
you are cool enough.
Rocker or no music enough or no bands and be like, oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
But I don't.
It's okay. It's okay. We can't. We
are who we are.
We are who we are. I don't love you for your knowledge of bands.
That's true.
Not
Or
as in
like,
bands, but as in B-A-N-D-S.
like a famous writer.
Yeah.
Somebody real smart. We went, you generally go to celebrities because it's like,
because they're on the screen. We see their faces and their bodies.
Actual have sex with. And so you can do it. It's like allowed to be a fun game.
It is a fun game.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think that's a good game to play with your partner, but you also have to promise not to get upset about it, right? You have to have that really good relationship that makes you laugh. And last night we had a good time.
We had a good laugh.
Yeah. So
it was good.
No bands.
No bands. Find good beer buddies and
have sex with whoever you want. No, just kidding. No, do not do that.
I like the way you landed that plane.
I wanted to land it right there in the muck.
No, I like all the nice things you said about me. Thank you.
I love you.
I love you so much.
Well, this was fun.
It was fun.
Did we get a podcast going?
Yeah. It's just for fun.
This was a fun one.
Why
and
not?
We hope you all enjoy the rest of your day and go have some fun with your mate, with your partner, like we do.
Love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to us today, wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, you can now find our podcast on YouTube.
Yeah. If you liked it, please share, rate, and review. We love 5 stars. And we hope you'll work out with us online or in studio at HilliardStudioMethod.com.